What's up, YouTube? Let me give you a little background on this. This is the E90 2009 valve cover. What a disaster this was. This is the old gasket and all that stuff. Basically what happened was I had an oil leak, and I thought it was coming from the back corner here, as they often do, and thought it was the gasket. So I went ahead, I replaced the gasket and all that stuff. New gasket on, put everything down, torqued it all down, and it started leaking again. So I went to a local BMW shop, not the dealership, and I was talking to them, and the lead mechanic, who was a BMW master tech, said, "This is the thing that goes bad, the CCV valve built into the valve cover." And this one is not ripped, but I did a vacuum check on this, and it wasn't holding any vacuum at all, so I believe the guy. So the pressure builds up, and it finds its way out of the weakest point, which is going to be the gasket. So it was pushing the oil out and everything else. So I had to buy a whole new valve cover. That was like $400. It came with all the new gaskets again. The thing that sucks is you cannot replace this thing by itself. I had to Dremel this thing off, and they sell these online, for like $30 or something. But I don't know how you install them without going through this mess. So anyway, so that's the deal. So keep that in mind. If you have an oil leak with your gasket, it may not be just the gasket. It may also be a failed CCV valve. And what I did was I hooked a vacuum tester up to this part right here, right there. And as I pumped it, it just stayed at zero. It wasn't holding anything. So when I got the new valve cover, that's the first thing I checked, and it held vacuum right away. Just a couple of pumps. It wasn't under too much pressure. So before you rip everything apart and you have a leaky valve cover gasket, check this thing, because it's going to save you a lot of time and money. Because I had to rip everything apart again after just doing it all, and we all know how hard it is to get this thing in. So just keep that in mind. All right, guys. See you.